Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of Apex. Last week I was given the chance to sit at an early access preview of season 14 and I got to see everything new that's coming to the game next season from Vantage, the new POIs out Kings Canyon, all the meta changes. There's a lot going on. The embargo's just lifted today, so we're gonna dive deep, and I'm not able to show anything regarding what we saw, but I could talk about everything that I saw, and I'll try to go into as much detail as possible. Now, we're not gonna be able to talk anything about Vantage today. That will be on August 4th, so if you guys don't wanna miss that, make sure you guys turn on notifications down below. I'll be talking and going into full detail with her soon, but today we're going to talk about Kings Canyon, all the meta changes, and some level cap increases. To be honest, it was pretty interesting. When I was at the event, I was very excited for Vantage, but I think the things that sold me over with season 14, and to be honest got me the most excited, was everything else that was thrown into the season, which makes it feel pretty chunky. There's a lot going on here, and it makes the season feel a whole lot bigger than some of the previous seasons that we've had before, including ones that even came with a new map. So we're gonna dive on in. If you guys enjoyed the video, a like is always appreciated, but let's just get right into this. I got a couple of great rank games to show you guys as well in the background, so I hope you guys enjoy. First up, I wanted to talk about Kings Canyon. There is a lot going on here, some major changes and a lot of minor changes that I think will end up feeling pretty nice and refreshing. First up, let's just talk about the new POI, Skull Town, as everyone's calling it. There is a brand new POI taking its place, which is called Relic now, and it essentially simulates what Skull Town did, but on a much greater scale. If you guys remember on Kings Canyon, when you travel down from Octane's Gauntlet all the way down to Salvage to Market, it almost felt like, you know, the Las Vegas strip of action. It just never ended, and it just led to a really messy flow, I guess you could say, when playing on Kings Canyon. So Relic actually is increasing the overall size of Kings Canyon by quite a bit, so it's making the map feel a little bit bigger, and there's just a lot of open space. It's surrounded by walls. There's open fields surrounding Relic, or quote-unquote Skull Town, and there is still, you know, the little town inside of the whole POI, which will give us back some of that Skull Town action that we've been missing. In the open fields that surround Relic, there's some trees, there's a lot of rocks, and then once again to note, there's that massive wall that surrounds the whole POI. It kind of cuts off the flow of that long strip of action, and it just makes the whole map feel bigger. So third partying in that area should hopefully become a little less relevant, and if not, it'll just take longer to get to other areas, which will slow the pacing down. If you guys remember, over by the hillside on Kings Canyon, there was the massive cage. The top portion of that cage has actually been removed. It's still very tall, but there isn't a platform to kind of play around in and camp at the top of. It was just creating a lot of unnecessary holding in that area, and it'll just be more of a quick sniper's peek now. Move on with your day, but it's not something to really post up and camp. Now, over on the other hillside at the top of Containment, that's where there used to be a big structure in the side of a mountain. There was some indoors combat, there were zip lines that went up. All the indoor combat has now been removed. There's still a lot of structures there and some bins to loot up. It's still a valid spot to drop if you really wanted to get some gear, but you will be seen by everybody when looking up at the hill. There's not indoor cover. You can't camp in there with caustic traps, lots of fences. It was creating unnecessary choke points like the other hillside, so they just got that cleared up. Over near artillery, they had relay. They felt our relay was lacking, so they wanted to switch it up with a couple of buildings. It's now known as Basin. There's not too much going on there, but some minor changes. And then overall, they cleaned up a lot of the rotation points in Kings Canyon. You're gonna kind of feel like there's much bigger alleyways, I guess you could say. The macro, quote unquote, rotation points have been expanded, and all the micro rotation points were kind of griefy and led to a lot of unnecessary third partying in the map. So they kind of choked those up. They've clogged up a lot of smaller alleyways. Now, if you want to rotate, you're going to have to go around big mountain sides and take your time, kind of like you do on World's Edge. And then to finish off with Kings Canyon, the loot balance has been reworked. I think that will always be, you know, a work in progress. I don't think you could ever perfect loot on any map. But if you guys have noticed in the fire range this season, there's been a new color palette in there. And it's the same color palette that's going to be applied to all of Kings Canyon in season 14. They gave it a new skybox and it looks awesome. It's much more colorful. It doesn't look like Fortnite. It's not overly vibrant and saturated, but it's definitely a little bit more refreshing than the gloomy grays and browns that we originally had on Kings Canyon. It's much more bright with like blues and oranges now, I guess you could say. So that's it for Kings Canyon. Now we're gonna get into the level cap and then weapons after. And I think this is where I really started to get excited during the preview event. So a lot of people have been wondering about the level cap this season and wondering if it's gonna be level 700, 750, maybe even 1,000, an extra 500 levels. And they've really stepped it up this time around. We're not just getting a minor level increase. You're gonna be able to work up to level 2,000 in Apex. Now, it's not as straight clear cut as 2,000. You're not gonna be able to go from 500 to 2,000. There's basically a prestige system now. So everybody who's already currently level 500, you will instantly get reset back to 1 and be able to work your way back up to 500 3 additional times. Each time you work your way back up, there's going to be a new color scheme for your level icon. The first prestige color you're going to be able to get is green. So your level will be green all the way up to 500 again. And then you're going to be able to work your way through teal. And then for the final prestige, when you reach 2,000, you're going to be able to work through a red color scheme. So it looks awesome. They did say that you're going to be able to earn a bunch of more Apex packs. And it is guaranteed that after you reach level 500, you do get another heirloom. So this is really exciting. A lot of more Apex packs, a lot of more free heirlooms. I think, honestly, this is just a W overall. And I don't think anyone's going to complain about this. This is just awesome. But finally, let's talk about the weapons, because this is where everybody started to get extremely hyped. Now, surprisingly, there is no new weapon this season. We could see one next season. Honestly, we don't really know, but he did say that ultimately it just comes down to the game's health. If the game doesn't need one, there's no point in adding one. I think Warzone's a great example of this. They have a lot of weapons, and there's a lot of weapons that serve the same purpose, but in Apex, it's always been this way, that each weapon has a definitive role, and if there's no point in adding another gun yet because they don't see a fit or a need for one, then honestly, I'm cool with them not adding one. But we are getting a brand new attachment this season, and it is a laser sight. The laser sight is extremely cool. It goes on pistols, it goes on submachine guns, and it's to help get them even more involved in the close quarters combat scenarios. Obviously, shotguns are extremely powerful. In Apex, we got the Peacekeeper, the Mastiff, the Eva 8, the Mozambique, which is also really good this season. But they kind of dominate close quarters. So having SMGs with a large reduction to hip fire spread now is going to make them even more deadly. I can't imagine a wingman with a really tight hip fire spread, tighter than it already is, because I find it extremely accurate. But speaking about the wingman is now in the sniper class. It's no longer a heavy ammo weapon. The heavy ammo category has a lot of powerful weapons. If anything, it's probably one of the largest weapon pools in the whole game. So the heavy ammo meta is getting nerfed. The wingman is out. It's now going to require a sniper magazine. It'll be up there with Vantage's kit, I guess you could say, because now we got the charge rifle, the sentinel, the longbow, and the wingman together. It's kind of weird to think of it as a sniper class weapon, but it does kind of make sense. It's a revolver, sniper caliber bullets going in there. It's cool. And if that wasn't enough to nerf the heavy ammo category, the Spitfire is now a light classified weapon. They said that when they put the 301 into the crafter last season, they really felt how lacking the light ammo category was. They basically only had the R99 once they took the 301 out. So the light ammo category is a little bit bigger now. I think it's definitely more in line with the heavy ammo, because we have the flatline, the hemlock, the prowler, some valid heavy ammo options still, but it's now a light ammo weapon. The Eva 8's also getting a pretty nice buff this season. Hopefully it'll be meta. Honestly, I think it will be meta based on the changes I've heard. It's getting a fire rate increase. Double tap is coming back this season for the Eva 8, and there is also the stock attachment, which you will be able to put on it to increase its reload speed and just increase its handling. The Pve, it's going to be a lot of fun this season. It's kind of nice to switch it up from the Peacekeeper too. Another hop up that's going to be making its way back is the Skull Piercer. It's still going to be going on the Wingman and the Longbow like usual, but this season they're trying it out on the 30-30 repeater as well for the very first time. And I think the 30-30 has been a really good gun. I've been loving the shatter caps. The double tap hop up on it is also awesome, but Skull Piercer could honestly take it to the next level. The 30-30 smacks, and with headshot like multipliers going crazy on it now with the Skull Piercer, it could be a really good long range choice. They also made some major changes to the golden gear in Apex Legends. The gold backpack, which is known for its big heals. When you hit people with revive, they get extra health. That has been removed, and it now has a new perk called Deep Pockets. You'll be able to stack batteries and med kits up to 3 instead of 2 in your backpack, and Phoenix kits will stack up to 2. So you'll be able to carry extra heals for your team, a ton of extra heals for yourself. But the Guardian Angel perk that was on the golden backpack is now being moved to the gold knockdown, and the self revive perk that was on the gold knockdown is now just kicked out of the game. It's no longer in the game. There's no more self revive. Starting to wrap things up, the bow is going into the care package with the rampage, but if 2 weapons are going in, that means 2 weapons are also coming out. So the G7 Scout and the Volt are finally back on floor loot. I've missed those guns so much. I think it's going to be awesome picking them up again as the floor loot. And that's really it for all the weapon changes in season 14. So we touched on the map changes, level cap, weapon meta changes. We didn't get to hear anything about legend meta changes yet. Like I said, this isn't absolutely everything this season. There will be a lot of stuff that they didn't tell us in the patch notes, so we'll look forward to that. But just to finish off, we had some Q&A segments at the end of the preview session asking devs questions. And they did talk about a couple of other things that I think will get you guys a little bit excited. They finally mentioned a gifting system in Apex, the ability to gift coins, gift skins, and there is no, definitive date on when that's going to be released, but they did say that it's something they're extremely excited about looking into, and it could definitely be coming in the near future. So that'll be really cool. In terms of ranked, a lot of people still have problems with ranked, and they're definitely very aware of it. One of the devs even said he plays a bunch of ranked, and he's definitely felt how much more difficult it is now. So he definitely thinks tweaking is still necessary. It'll always be a work in progress. I don't know if we're gonna see changes next season, but he did say they'll note about it and touch on it in the patch notes. So maybe we will see changes, maybe we won't. Cross progression and cheating. Cross progression is once again something that's still work in progress, something they definitely want to see and is being worked on. But once again, no definitive date on when that's being launched, but it is being worked on. Cheating is once again always a work in progress as well. I think cheating is something that will honestly always exist. I don't think it'll ever be wiped from any video game. There's cheating in Valorant, and Valorant has one of the most aggressive anti-cheat softwares literally out there for gaming. So at least they're working on it. Maybe we'll see some changes soon, who knows. And to finish things out on a very high note, Pve Missions. People wanted to know if we'll see more missions in game like we did in the past that were playable outside of the competitive battle royale mode. And we do see some cool story and lore missions throughout the actual battle royale game mode, but we haven't seen any PvE missions since I think it was season 5. They did confirm those will never be coming back to the game. But if you guys remember, a new project that is being worked on in the Apex universe is in the making right now. And he did say that if anything like that were to be done again, it would be done through, other tools or other projects, I guess you could say. So I think that's a hint that an Apex story game could be coming out sometime in the future. I think that's really exciting. Season 14 has got me pumped. That is everything I can talk about today. I honestly milked it to the nines. I hope you guys are just as pumped about this season as I am. I can't wait. On August 4th, once again, I will be talking everything about Vantage. We weren't able to talk about Vantage today, so if you guys want to see that, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. But if you guys enjoyed the video, like is always appreciated. I will catch you guys in the next one. I'll be streaming for the rest of the day on Twitch as well, so if you guys want to watch me over there, link is in the description. But I'll catch you in the next one. Big thanks to EA for inviting me to the preview event. Catch you guys in the next one. Keep up, stay up. Peace out.